Cool. Now a question for Swapna. So this is from a pre-final engineering student. So this is what she has to say. I do have many questions on the same. Is it necessary to have MBA or MS to be a product manager? When I will pass out, what will be my opportunities to be a PM, and what should I do to achieve? What are the things should I learn as student to be a successful product manager? So the list goes on, but these are the main ones. So because even Quora answers are not that clear. So Swapna, you being a product manager, I think you had a fantastic career starting as an engineer and eventually building out to be a great product manager at Amazon. So how do you see, like, how do you think, at now being, let's say, a pre-finance student, what do you think that person should think about considering the current opportunities and the current state of the world?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like, product management project management has been something that is out there, right? Even long, long time back, where project management is you're given a task, you have to build a work backwards plan for how you're going to achieve it and then execute on it. Now, product management is a bit different, right? So product management is you need to know what problem you're trying to solve and what is your vision for that product and why do you think that it is important to solve for it, right? So asking many upfront questions even before you get started, that is very critical, very different from program management a perspective, like a typical project management perspective. So this strategic thinking is very, very important. So when you are thinking about a product that you want to build, have these answers for yourself. What is your vision? Why is it important? And what is the customer pain point that you're trying to solve for? Once you've got that basics down, start putting your thoughts into onto a paper, right? Whether it be in the narrative format, whether it be in terms of visuals, having a user flow diagrams and whatnot, because it will help you really refine your thoughts about what you're trying to do and what your approach is. And then take that and get it to different people, right? Let it be in like in your LinkedIn network, and have them, vet that doc and vet it to see like why it is important. It is an important skill that I have learned at Amazon, to actually refine your thoughts. It's important to put it because even you will find a lot of answers when you're doing that. So that's touching on the communication aspect. So we've touched on strategic thinking. Second one is communication, which is really, really, really important. The third one is, as a product manager, how do you influence without authority? Right. So when you're a manager of a team, you have the authority over them. When you're a product manager, more than likely, if you don't have a team reporting under you, you play an individual contributor role. How do you influence people? How do you get them to buy your vision and why the problem is important to be solved? Once you get that, then it becomes important for you to work closely with the developers, right? To earn trust from them that you are here to kind of help them out and help the whole thing take it through execution. So working closely with the developers and UX is also a specific skill, which is really important from a product management standpoint, where you have an eye for the design as well for the product that you're going to achieve. And then finally, you have a go to market strategy. How do you market your product? That becomes critical. So from strategic thinking to clear communication, having, influencing without authority, which comes with, being an individual contributor, working with the developers and UX, and building a go to market strategy. And since you are just in college, you can get started small in certain aspects of each of these pillars, right? So maybe you could start off building a new app or a website on your own. And maybe you can start collaborating with the developers or UX designers to actually build that out there. And then maybe you can create a go to market strategy. It could be small, right? But you have experimented and you've played with it. That will continuously, help you once you get to the career, to in a particular company, then you have additional resources to kind of scale it. But that is how you can get started small in doing something, building a product and going with it. So
Right.
a US, a degree is not required actually to do it. You could come into product management from any aspect at any point of time. It doesn't mean that you have to get started as a product manager. I started as a database analyst, moved into program product management. So it's not important that you have to have that degree.
Right. So I think that's a beautiful summary of the overall what product management looks like. But from, let's say, a student and a pre-final engineer, right? I mean, the biggest confusion after engineering is like, I mean, all of us had as well. So should you do the MBA or should you do the MS? Is one question. So as you said, like degree is not important. And second thing that you spoke about is like, having a product and vision. But most of the times it happens like most of the people, especially at that age, it's very difficult to have a product vision itself. So what are your thoughts around it? Let's say I don't have any product in my mind, but I want to become a product manager. And is it like I have to go through from like, is it like always a ladder that I have to climb, start off as an analyst or an engineer and then move to product manager? Or is there any way that I can directly, like the moment I'm out of college, can I become a product manager, maybe like a junior product manager and then get started as a product manager role? So can you share some thoughts around that?
Yeah, that's that's a good question. So from my experience, right, first I'll talk about my experience and what I have seen around, right, being a successful product manager. So the first step is when I started as a database analyst, I've also done some web development as part of that. So in
Okay.
some way, shape, or form, I was building some products, right? Obviously, I didn't know, to your point, like what exactly should be the vision for this. I was told, okay, go build this, this is a problem, go build this, and then I built it, right? And then make sure that the code is running, make sure that the testing is happening, and that the users are it's solving a particular problem. Now that's great, right? So I could say that maybe I've been a product manager, right? A junior product manager, maybe that's what qualifies to be a junior product manager. But as you grow into senior roles, then the vision that you need to have, no one will tell you that this is how you need to think about it or why it is very important. The rest of it, people can help to actually run with it. So when you're a junior product manager, you would be focused on the second half of it, right? Not the strategic thinking aspect of it, but the execution of it. Like, how do you collaborate with different people to get the job done? Now, as you're doing it really well, then you'll start understanding why this one was created and why it was important to do it. So don't be afraid, like, when you don't have like any big ideas, you think that it's no good, just start, build some website, right? So it's like maybe it's tailoring to a particular, very few particular users, but then it teaches you something. So that is what I would advocate for people. Now, for me, it helped because I got into being, database analyst to web developer to then transition into program management. Like, it really helped me solidify the other skills I was talking about, influencing without authority and getting the job done. People would trust me if something is given to me, that it will get delivered, no doubt. Then it gave me the confidence that when now I can step back and think strategically. The most number of people, the most challenge people have is they don't have time to think, right? Even at any point, like even right now in my career, like I have 15 years of experience, you have to make time to think. Otherwise, you will get into the day-to-day rut and will never be able to think bigger on the product. Now, that is what I would advocate for. Building those technical skills and all of that has helped me. It's not important that you have to do that. MBA versus master's, I have done my master's in management information systems, and I thought it was a really good blend of management and technology. I got to learn, code plus the management skills that go along with it. So choosing a degree that you can tailor to, translate into something that you like is really important. And not to forget, I have my bachelor's in civil engineering, and I did not enjoy that. And I changed my major in management information systems, and I'm very, very glad that I did it.
Cool.
I would also like to add to what Swapna has mentioned, probably with my experience of seeing and running how the startups are run and startup PMs are working, and especially she being a student, what are the other aspects that she can take up to expedite her journey into product management. So I suggest, Swapna, I think she told what are the different aspects, right? There is UX, there is strategy, there's development. So lots of things are there in bits and pieces. So probably if there's a way you can, if you have a project, if you have an idea, if you have people to work with, it's great. But I do understand as a student, probably we might not have all those things. So if that is the case, there are lots of internship opportunities out there for college students. You just take up, pay no pay doesn't matter, you just look at, what are the things that you will get to learn. So even if you're an analyst, or even if you're doing a data entry work, whatever it is, based on your skill set, you will be given that role, right? So you just take up those internships, you will get real experience into what it is, and probably that might lead to more ideas on building something on your own. And that is a credibility that you will have if you want to get a PM role straight out of your college. It's not impossible, but you need to have that experience. You have that with degree, without degree, in college. Do you want to get it within 1 2 years without spending 10 years, 15 years? Everything is possible. It depends on how soon you want to get it and how fast you can do it. There is no escape from learning all these things. You have to learn. If you want to do it fast, the best way to learn is by doing. So take up internships, and there are lots of PMs out there. You talk to them to understand, like, if you want to expedite it, how more, and how else you can help them out professionally if you're not getting internships, how you can support them and probably learn that too.
Cool, interesting. So just to add, I think there are many more product management related groups as well out there. Where they're mostly helpful, not just the content, but they share. There are many talks and stuff. So please do check them out.